Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where in the world you live. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a twin flame energy update for the Twin Flame Collective. So although this reading is specifically intended for twin flames, for divine counterparts, you may find that certain messages from this reading resonate regardless of what form of soul connection or love connection you are dealing with. I don't believe in coincidences or accidents, so if you found this video or felt pulled to it, there is a good chance there is some message here for you. Now, with that being said, be sure to always use your intuition above all else to determine which of these messages are for you and which are for others, because I do channel many different energies, many different twin flame and sometimes other forms of soul connections through these readings, so only take what connects with you personally. So with all of that being said, I am going to go ahead and start today by shuffling the Energy Oracle Cards deck. Have any of you felt in the last few days a little bit of tiredness or finding it a little bit difficult to focus or to work? Just curious, because I felt a lot of intense energies, especially around Monday or Tuesday of this week. And as I was saying that, a card just flew out. Yeah, Angel of Balance reversed. So clearly this card is speaking to what I am talking about. Something here was, I heard a little out of balance, but through that experience of it being out of balance, what you were actually feeling is something on its way to coming into balance. So we'll channel more on that in a minute as I pull more cards. But before I forget, if you haven't yet, be sure to like this video and also make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, because by liking and subscribing, you are virtually transmitting your energy to me, and I'm able to pick up on that energy and sense more clearly, more intuitively about your situation or connection. So what has been out of balance for someone or anyone who's been feeling a little bit tired or finding it difficult to focus at the beginning of this week? What was coming into balance here? What is in the process of coming into balance? Woman holding a heart in the reverse position. I instantly heard divine feminine taking back her heart, meaning taking back her power. How is this divine feminine taking back her power here? Door to romance in the reverse position. This is really interesting. With this door to romance reverse card, the first thing I thought was shutting the door on love, but I know that sounds, I feel that the connotations with that sounds off. Like that's not exactly what I'm channeling here. What I really mean is this divine feminine I'm connecting in with here is choosing to prioritize and focus on herself over the love connections in her life, to choose herself, to no longer abandon herself for the sake of love connections, knowing that in no longer self-abandoning, she is healing, and in healing, she is beginning to radiate more of her core soul frequency, which then in turn will actually attract to her deeper, more fulfilling love connection, whether this is in a twin flame scenario, which this would be her divine masculine counterpart, or if this is simply someone who does not consider themselves to be a twin flame, this could be other forms of fulfilling love connection coming into her life. But regardless, it's this irony here where in order for things to heal, to come into balance for her, on her path, she is being asked to empower herself, to choose herself, to no longer abandon herself. Yeah, the garden and the gate reversed, and sacral chakra, the second chakra, in the upright position. With garden and the gate reversed, I was instantly hearing, once again, it's funny, door to romance reversed. This now card with a gate image on it reversed. There's a lot of door imagery cards in the reverse position. And what I really see is this divine feminine shutting the door to distracting, energetically draining influences, people, things in her life, protecting herself, protecting her heart, and also prioritizing herself. Prioritizing, I heard, her work, her soul mission here on earth. And in doing so, she is powerfully healing herself by shifting her energy in this way. With second chakra in the upright position, this is the sacral chakra. So this connects in with our intimacy, our ability to form intimate connections with others, and not just physical intimacy, although of course it does include physical intimacy, but also emotional intimacy. I heard only by knowing and fully accepting yourself can you then form fulfilling, intimate connections with others. And I feel this divine feminine is learning how to, I heard, give to herself instead of giving always outward, giving always to others. This could be a divine feminine who's very self-sacrificial, who gives a lot of herself to other people, but has difficulty. I heard difficulty giving to herself. Like, for example, someone I'm channeling here who might be listening, who this message is for, could be someone who buys things for other people, who's really generous, but has trouble spending on themselves, like buying things for themselves, doing things for themselves. That's just one example here for probably one specific person. But the gist here is that this divine feminine has self-sacrificed, self-abandoned a lot. And this is really interesting because these messages have been recurring, been coming through a lot in recent twin flame readings. And I know that some people will come to this channel and might say that some of the twin flame readings feel a bit repetitive. And the reason for this is because these collective energies, although we experience them very differently, there is this collective trend within the twin flame collective, a collective energetic trend, which is why so many of us tend to tap into some of the same messages. So these shifts collectively tend to move a bit slowly, meaning that from day to day, if I'm channeling, a reading or two in a week, the messages might not change that much because the energy is very slow moving. The energy doesn't always change very quickly. The words combine, university, I actually heard the word combine as combine, like in agriculture. I don't know much about agriculture, but someone may connect in somehow with farming or agriculture or a rural area. Someone might live in a rural area. By the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with my readings, those words I just said were coming from my Love Word Scramble. This is where I channel specific words throughout the reading as I feel guided that connect with certain people in certain ways. So the two cards to come out from the Moonology deck are What Do You Need to Release, Waning Moon, and Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. Once again, I feel this is connecting in with a divine feminine who is, I heard, growing, healing, expanding, but I also hear her saying, this is painful. This comes with a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty. I feel like I'm walking in the dark. That's what I hear this divine feminine saying. So I do just want to reshuffle these cards and channel a few more messages about what this divine feminine needs to release or what she is afraid of. By the way, there will be an extended version of this reading available on our Twin Flame Soul Tribe on Patreon. The link to that will be in the pinned comment and description box under this video if you'd like to check it out. Healer of the Ages reversed. I'm actually feeling guided to read a little bit about this card. When this card is reversed, the Healer of the Ages indicates that you've been feeling extremely out of sorts or even upside down in your own life. You may be in the midst of some physical problem or just feeling as though you're losing energy. But this card is telling you that there are deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. Very synchronistic, because we just pulled the cards, work through your fears, and what do you need to release? So what I now want to ask is, what does this divine feminine I'm connecting in with here need to release? And I'm going to go to the emotion deck. I call it that shorthand, but really it's the soul's journey deck. I call it the emotion deck because all of these cards are emotional based cards. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Has someone been dealing with some kind of a physical health concern or health issue lately? Just wondering, because the health kind of concept has been surfacing a few times in this reading, specifically physical health, something with the body. This probably will just be for a few people, but for whoever's dealing with some kind of a physical health concern right here, what does this person need to know? Let's go to the Starseed Oracle card deck. What does this person need to know that's dealing with some kind of a physical health concern right now? Longing for home, homesick for the stars. I'm going to reshuffle and pull a few more cards here. By the way, I always say that I am not a medical professional, so if you are experiencing health concerns, be sure to check it out with a professional or a doctor first. But I'm speaking to those of you, whoever in this select group that I'm talking to here is dealing with overall feelings of lethargy, tiredness, fatigue, not quite feeling themselves energetically, and perhaps there is some kind of unexplainable physical health concern that goes along with this for this person. And I'm trying to read into why you are feeling this way and what you might need to know about this situation, what's going on energetically. I heard heavy, like there's something heavy on your heart or in your energy that needs to be released, that is calling for you to release it through the physical body symptoms that you're experiencing. What does this person need to release? Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. So your body is really calling for you to nurture it, to nourish it, to care for it in whatever way that means for you. And I know this is a bit of a side message, but I do feel that whoever I'm connecting in with here, you know, or you have felt guided to certain ways of moving your body, whether this is yoga, stretching, going for walks, exercise, nourishing your body, perhaps pursuing a specific kind of eating plan or something along those lines. I feel like you may have been inspired recently to better yourself or to care for your body in certain ways, and know that these feelings of being inspired to care for yourself in a new way, this isn't happening out of the blue. This is actually a very integral part to your comprehensive healing, mind, body, and soul. And as I was saying that, the 7th chakra, the crown chakra in the upright position came out. Yeah, so this also could be going along with your spiritual awakening. As you continue to awaken, as you continue to become more energetically sensitive, you are being guided to these different ways of caring for yourself in ways that I feel also others may not understand or may even judge you for. They might judge you for the ways that you are choosing to eat, the kinds of foods you want to put in your body. The way I'm hearing part of this just is time, like I feel like someone here is experiencing self-judgment or judgment from others potentially, or just from society's beliefs and ideas about how much time and care you should put into yourself and your physical body. I feel like this person is struggling with feeling like, why does it take so much time for me to care for my mind, body, and soul? Why do I need so much time to replenish, to care for myself? This person might have a very long kind of morning routine where they are meditating, where they are perhaps moving their body, doing different things. And I feel like this person wonders, like, am I really worth this amount of time and energy when society tells me I shouldn't be spending this much time on myself? I shouldn't need this much time for self-care. And I do feel I've used this metaphor before, and I actually got it from Anna Wood on Instagram. She is incredible. If you want to follow her Instagram accounts, I believe her Instagram handle is I am Anna Wood. But she once, in one of her posts, shared a metaphor for empaths about how when you are driving a Lamborghini, you don't expect it to need the same amount of care as a Honda. You expect it to need much more care, time, and attention to take care of. And just like that luxury car, you have to remember that if you are someone who is highly sensitive, you are like that luxury car. You require a lot more time, energy, and attention to maintain that very high level of vibration to care for yourself. And I feel it's time for this divine feminine to truly release those feelings of guilt for what she is putting back into herself, for the energetic investment she is making in herself, to really allow herself the time, space, care, attention, and energy she both needs, requires, and deserves as a highly evolved, highly sensitive, beautiful being. So I really hope that message reached whoever needed to hear it. I feel that we still have a bit more to talk about here in regards to what this divine feminine could potentially be afraid of. I do feel there are some kinds of fears coming up here, fears outside of feeling concerned about needing so much time for herself, which I feel may only connect with a few people. There are deeper seated fears here, fears about loneliness, about intimacy, about relationship. And I'm going to go to the shoebox messages to see if I can channel any specifics on this. So what is this divine feminine so afraid of? What fears are coming up for her here? What is this divine feminine afraid of? So first of all, one of these index cards I have, by the way, the shoebox messages are just short words and phrases written on these index cards that I keep in this shoebox, hence the name. And one of these index cards was like hanging on the side of the box. Wow. Okay. So I thought as it was hanging on the side, I was like, I feel like this message might be indicating someone is hanging on to something that they need to surrender. And of course, the card is We Are Twin Flames. And I hear spirits here saying, I'm going to get into this message actually before I get into the other ones. I feel like I hear spirit here saying, yes, you are twin flames. It's like you are correct about your knowing about this person, about this connection. You can trust your intuition, but ironically, you must surrender the feelings of attachment you have to this person in the physical, to this twin flame label, in order to evolve to your highest version of yourself, from which point you will then be able to, if you so desire, create, cultivate, manifest a reunion in the physical with this person. It's like there's this irony here because yes, your intuition has been, is, continues to be correct about this person being your twin flame, about this situation, for those of you who this is speaking to. But at the same time, I feel there's this very complex higher message coming through here about how this person is holding on so tight to the concept of twin flames, the intellectual concept, to holding on so tight to a very specific kind of outcome within this connection in the physical right now, that it's like, although they are correct about this person, about this connection that they are feeling, their attachments now to this label are somehow preventing them from really evolving to the highest version of themselves. So they are being asked to release a lot of fears and attachments around the very label of being twin flames. And hopefully I can get into more specifics on that later, because I know that sounds very confusing. I really hope that if this message was for you, you can understand how this might resonate for you. And if it wasn't for you, you can just release it, let it go, leave it for whoever's this message was. Envy in the upright position, lack, dissatisfaction. I feel like this is speaking to someone here who is feeling some kind of dissatisfaction with what they know to be their twin flame connection. I'm talking about like a physical 3D feeling of dissatisfaction from their ego mind, from their physical mind. And hopefully I can get into more specifics on that later, but I feel that we should just leave that here for now. And let's go ahead and unfold the rest of these shoebox messages from this Divine Feminine, again, just speaking to her fears and what she needs to release. This is hard for me. Will you stay? They don't understand. I'm hurting. Distance. So a lot of what is causing this Divine Feminine pain right now is around feeling confused, feeling hurt, feeling misunderstood. Sensing this distance of some kind between her and her Divine Masculine, her twin counterpart, that is causing her to feel almost disconnected from herself as she perceives this separation, this distance. She feels like, how can I hear some Divine Feminine saying, how can I go on without you? Meaning, how can I continue to live, to survive in spite of this distance, in spite of this physical separation between us? But I hear Spirit coming in to say here, you are never doing this alone. This distance is a construction of your mind. It is an illusion in a sense. And so through these cards, I see this like desperation, this, will you stay? This is hard for me. I'm hurting. They don't understand, which I feel speaks to people in this Divine Feminine's physical reality who are judging her experience with this person or within this connection, who just don't get her or what she is going through. Alternatively, this could be a Divine Feminine feeling as though she is very, very alone. I channeled this Divine Feminine earlier in meditation, which is what inspired me to create a separate video I am putting out. Well, I'm putting it out today, but this reading isn't coming out till tomorrow. So by the time this reading is posted, my video on loneliness, on isolation, and spirituality, spiritual awakening should also be posted. So if this message is for you, you might also find a message in that other video. But I'm really, really strongly feeling that this Divine Feminine is being guided to release, first of all, a lot of things here. But let's just get into kind of one by one distance, releasing this illusion of separation and the pain associated with it, which is much easier said than done. I feel that really the only way she can do this is by every single day participating in energetic hygiene, which is just energy clearing out all of these negative thoughts, beliefs, limiting ideas from society, from other people, and really tuning back into herself through meditation. For more powerful meditation results, you may also be guided to use a sound therapy tool such as Subliminals, like the ones I create on my website, soundandsoulful.com. I know many of you are already members on this website, but if not, here on the screen, I am just showing you around my site, showing you how to navigate through all of the different many categories of powerful subliminals I've created. These are designed to deeply shift and reprogram your subconscious mind by sinking into the recesses of your subconscious and uprooting any negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, preventing you from shifting your energy in certain ways, because it is said that the subconscious is directly reflected in the energy field. So subliminals are like the key to unlocking this portal of the subconscious, deeply reprogramming it and allowing you to quickly and radically shift your energy, magnetize your energy in the ways you desire, and to manifest the life that you want, the relationships you want, and really so much more for really any area of your life imaginable. So as you can see on my website, I have subliminals for all areas of life, for physical changes, for mood shifts, for money, for business, for manifesting specific things, and of course for twin flames specifically as well. Now, if you are a Divine Feminine connecting in with these particular messages, I would really recommend my Subliminal for Twin Flame Surrender. Because as I've spoken about in recent weeks, we are collectively as twin flames being called into deeper and deeper levels of surrender, surrendering fears, surrendering doubt, surrendering the illusion of physical separation or communication separation in the physical between us and our twin. So this subliminal is really powerful for shifting your mind from chaotic consciousness, from confusion, from doubt, into deep levels of peace and surrender that then in turn will reconnect you instantly back in with your twin flames energy in what I call an energy union. So the link to this twin flame surrender subliminal is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. You can try out this subliminal or any that I've created completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website. Now I'm going to go ahead and put back these shoebox messages and speak more to what this divine feminine is experiencing and what this experience is shifting her into. Because I do feel that all of these fears coming up are coming up for a reason. There are no coincidences in this universe. And I feel like this divine feminine I'm connecting with, as she is experiencing these fears and doubts, it feels like this whirlwind, this hurricane, chaotically swirling around her. It feels like it has no rhyme or reason or purpose, but it does. It's like that is the ego trying to tell her, trying to shift her into this victim mentality, telling her, why are these things happening to us? These things are chaotic. They don't make sense. But what her soul is trying to say is very different. So I want to know how this divine feminine soul feels about these fears coming up to be released. What is really going on here? Activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. And I feel a divine feminine needs to hear that a second time. Trust where you're led. So I'm going to actually read from the Starseed Oracle deck, from the guidebook here. So the guidebook says, ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses. Also known as spirit paths, they've been compared to the meridian system of the body used in Chinese medicine, and they link sacred sites, stone circles, burial mounds, and places of worship worldwide. In Australian Aboriginal culture, song lines were the paths traveled by the creator beings as they made the land and sea during the dreaming. These paths were recorded in the traditional songs and dances of the people, allowing them to access information about the land's history and to travel safely across great distances. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend the land that you live on, to honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers or nature spirits of the land? As you connect with the earth and honor its keepers, the land opens more fully to hold you, the fruits provide more nourishment, and the guardians watch over you. You know, what really stood out to me from those guidebook messages was the beginning part as kind of a metaphor, as the guidebook spoke of invisible pathways on the earth leading us in certain directions that we can energetically sense but not necessarily physically see. I feel like this is speaking to the way in which this divine feminine, through experiencing and then releasing these fears, these doubts, these uncertainties, she is actually being led along these metaphoric, invisible pathways through life. So I'm going to see if I can channel more messages about this. I know that at certain points in this reading, these messages have seemed a bit vague, but I feel like that is because they are intentionally left open-ended so that they can connect in with specific individuals in very unique ways. The name Jeff, the words private and north came out in the word scramble if that connects with you in some way. With the word north, I heard North Star, like follow your North Star to your freedom, meaning follow your intuition. Your intuition is that North Star, is that guiding light of your life. So I want to know what else this Divine Feminine needs to know at this time. Woman holding a coin in the upright position. A woman increasing her value, a feminine energy, increasing in value, increasing in worth. Not because her worth itself is actually increasing, but because this Divine Feminine is realizing her innate worth that has always been within her, and through the appreciation of this worth, of this value within, as we know, whatever we appreciates, increases, grows, expands. So I feel this Divine Feminine going through this kind of spiritual, energetic glow up through not necessarily increasing her value, increasing her worth, but increasing her consciousness of the worthiness she has always had. Financial constraints reversed. I'm seeing a lot of economic kind of abundance sorts of messages here. So if you are a Divine Feminine who has been, I heard, trying to align finances and work, this could just be for a few specific people, but I am seeing success, abundance, value, increase in monetary gain coming in for a Divine Feminine who has felt herself in the past feeling, with this financial constraints reverse card, feeling constrained, feeling bound. I'm hearing this Divine Feminine has felt bound financially or monetarily because she has these beautiful gifts to give the world, but for a long time it was difficult to align material wealth, finances, with her gifts, with her abilities. And I'm hearing it's like these constraints are being broken that have held you back in the past when it came to integrating a feeling of soul fulfillment from your work with material stability, with financial stability. I'm feeling this come into balance for this Divine Feminine the more she releases her fears and, again, appreciates her own worth that has always been within her, comes to acknowledge and honor more and more her own gifts and abilities that she's always had, but I feel for a long time that she denied because other people may have taught her to deny them or not to value those gifts. If this is speaking to you specifically in regards to money or finances, I do have a 7-chakra clearing subliminal specifically created to clear out limiting beliefs around money, around finances. So the link to that subliminal will be in the pinned comment in description. It's very comprehensive. It works by clearing out limiting beliefs and ideas about our ability to manifest money in our lives and the avenues through which money comes to us by clearing out blocks within all of the 7 main energy centers in the body. So, whoa, a card just flew out from the Moonology deck. New Moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. Yeah, once again, I'm feeling a Divine Feminine who has felt some feelings of self-doubt. This could be specifically in regards to her worth or value when it comes to soul purpose. I know this is technically a twin flame reading, but as many of you know, a twin flame isn't something that you just have. You know, we say, I have a twin flame, but it's also something that you are. In fact, it's dominantly something that you are. You are a twin flame, meaning that you are on this very evolved, very accelerated journey of spiritual evolution and growth in this specific lifetime through experiencing this kind of split consciousness, this dual consciousness between you and your twin flame incarnated here on earth. So this journey isn't just about, of course, love and relationships. It's about soul purpose, soul mission, healing on a very accelerated path, growing, expanding, awakening on an accelerated path. So since we're getting a little bit far into this reading, and I do want to get into more specific extended messages for our Patreon soul tribe, I do want to just speak a bit here to the Divine Masculine. But before I get into that, the Walking Away card reversed came out kind of unexpectedly here. This card actually came out, I believe, in my last reading as well. And I am taking it to have the same energy, the same meaning as when I pulled it last, which is like a coming home, a returning home to the self. Patience in the upright position. Let's see if we can just get one or two more cards here to clarify. And I have to get this card that just flew under my desk here. Action in the upright position. Walking away in the reverse. I specifically heard this kind of strange message of someone who is walking away in the physical from something in order to return home to the self. I feel this might speak to the same specific group of twin flames I spoke to in the last reading. I do feel that someone here, potentially this divine feminine, could have created some distance in the physical, set some kind of a boundary in the physical with her twin flame masculine, because it's something that she needed to do in order to evolve, in order to continue this path of evolving at the highest rate possible for herself. It's like, I had to choose myself. And that's what it looks like on this 3D level, like she is choosing herself over this connection or over her twin flame. But what is actually happening here is the opposite. So often there are these illusions constructed by the ego, by society, that are so contradictory to what our soul knows about the situation. So what I see for this divine feminine is actually by choosing herself, by creating whatever kind of space or boundaries she may have needed to in the physical, she actually is returning home to the self, and within the self, there is her twin flame. So it's like this very ironic situation of, in a sense, she is actually speeding up reunion by choosing herself, by going within herself, by reconnecting fully with herself. But on the surface, I feel like to other people, or even to her masculine's ego self, to his 3D physical self, this could look like she is disconnecting or walking away in some sense, but it's actually the opposite that is true. And I do feel this situation will not connect with everyone, so only take it if it resonates. But the patience card also came out here in the upright position. And what I see here is Spirit saying overall, just kind of this overarching message of, be patient in allowing this situation to unfold. I kept hearing as I was meditating, release time limitations, time limitations. There's something about someone here, and I've said this in past readings, but it continues to be energetically present, that someone here has been very attached in the past to very specific timelines within this twin flame connection, things happening in a certain order at a certain time. And I feel like they are being guided into a better way, onto this higher timeline. But the thing about this higher timeline is it doesn't necessarily match the strict, rigid timeline that they created from a space of ego and from a feeling of lack when it came to time, a feeling of time limitation, of fear that time is running out. So this person, potentially a divine feminine here, is really being guided to release those remnants of attachment to specific timelines. I know this is a repetitive message because I channeled this in my last reading as well, but again, it continues to be very present and active for the Twin Flame Collective. With this action card, I see this up-leveling, this movement forward, this shift, this push forward for this divine feminine, again, as she chooses herself, as she releases these last remnants of fears and feelings of limitation around time, around the way that her ego believed her life or this relationship should unfold. And I see all of this working to propel her forward. Now, this could specifically be related with work, soul purpose, finances. This could be related to just an overall glow up when it comes to health, physicality, her physical body. But I also see that regardless of how this applies for you specifically, what it is all speaking to is the fact that through choosing the self, through appreciating the value within, and therefore letting that value continue to grow, continue to appreciate by being patient, meaning releasing time limitation and surrendering fully, this is propelling this divine feminine into her highest version of herself more quickly than ever before. And I'm hearing it's terrifying, but it's also so beautiful and so expansive. And that actually is bringing us full circle into the reason all of these things may be coming up for this divine feminine, all of these fears, potentially even at times conflict in the 3D or separation in the 3D with her masculine. The reason all of this is coming up is to trigger those last remnants of time limitation, of fear, of doubt that need to be surrendered in order to propel her very rapidly into this highest version of the self, through which, in being that highest version of herself, she will magnetically draw to her a beautiful, perfectly unfolding reunion with her twin flame masculine, if that is what she desires in the physical world, in this physical lifetime. But it's like all of that requires of her this choosing of the self, this total shift into surrender. Wow, really beautiful and empowering messages coming through for this divine feminine. So as I said, I do want to close this first reading before we head over to Patreon for the extended with just a few messages from the divine masculine. And of course, in the extended, I will be getting into much more specific detail. I will be channeling specific messages from both the divine feminine and divine masculine to one another, both on a 3D physical level and on a higher self level. So the link to the extended version on Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. But very quickly, before we head over to the extended, what does this divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine at this time? Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. I just got a wave of chills flipping over that card. There's also the image of waves in the ocean on this card, and I feel that might connect with someone either literally or metaphorically, but I also see this kind of symbolism to those waves, this idea that whatever you are experiencing, if you are the divine feminine on the other side of this and you're feeling these doubts, these fears, these uncertainties, these are like waves crashing on the shore when it comes to your connection, meaning that there will be ebb and flow within this ocean, within these waves that you are experiencing. But none of this is meant for you to become so attached. You are meant to ride on these waves, to allow this connection and your life to ebb and flow according to divine order. You are to surrender to the tide, to the ebb and the flow of your life, rather than trying to cling to each and every wave. Rather than trying to stand on the shore and hold the wave in, preventing it from ebbing back out, you are meant to allow things to continue to flow. So I know that's a little bit of a rough metaphor there, but I know that this is going to connect with someone in a very powerful way and that you needed to hear that message. What other message can I bring forth from this divine masculine right now? A new start is coming, new moon. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. Wow, look at these 3 messages. Nothing is yet set in stone. A new start is coming. Believe in the impossible. I feel almost as though those messages don't even need elaboration. If those are for you from your masculine, I feel that those words, those cards alone will touch your soul and you will know how it connects for you. Is there anything else that I can say from this divine masculine? The seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to lights. Lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. I feel this divine masculine almost just on a soul level, on a higher self level, energetically supporting this divine feminine, saying, regardless of what is happening right now between us in the physical, I am always connected in with you. I see you rising. I see you beginning to fully embrace and love yourself. I see you appreciating, meaning finally consciously recognizing the value in the beautiful soul gifts that you carried into this lifetime. I am so proud of you. I am always there with you, even in moments of physical 3D chaos, confusion, conflict, or separation. I am cheering you on. I am supporting you. Now, of course, these are higher self soul messages. So depending on the level of consciousness of the divine masculine in this situation, he may or may not be fully consciously aware of these soul messages, these higher self messages coming through him. But I will, in the extended version, be channeling specifically from his 3D physical earthly self, as well as more of these higher self love messages. So again, if you would like to head over with me now to the extended on our soul tribe on Patreon. The link to that is in the pinned comment and description box, as well as links to the subliminals available on my subliminal site, soundandsoulful.com. The recommended subliminals I mentioned during this reading were the Twin Flame Surrender Subliminal and the 7 Chakra Money Clearing Subliminal. So again, all of those links are under this video in the pinned comment and description box. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, magical rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next Twin Flame reading video.